I'm gonna actually put on the welcome to Insured for the holidays. I'm super, super excited for us to just be in this actual season. This has been quite a year, but it's so much to celebrate, and it's also a time to reflect. I see some people jumping in now, so I'll be admitting some additional people as we go in. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining in. We are just getting started. So, welcome to Insured for the Holidays. I'm so excited to be presenting alongside Bryan Rouse as well as Samuel.Richardson. This is really a family affair, my husband and my brother, and we are super excited to just be sharing some nuggets about life insurance, about our personal experience, and just adding some value to give a simplified understanding about what life insurance is. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So, welcome to your gift of protection and financial wellness. If you are actually here today, you actually understand the value of life insurance. 84% of Americans believe most people need life insurance, but only 52 actually have coverage. And I know a lot of you are aware of that because you either have it yourself or you've been able to actually serve some others. Also, nearly one in three families would face financial hardship within a month of losing their primary breadwinner, which is definitely a game changer if you don't have the right tools and resources that are in place. But guess what? 100% of life insurance can be the key to bridging the gap between belief and action. And that's what we're doing here today. We are bridging the gap between belief, between knowledge, understanding, and then actually applying that. Y'all can't see my screen. Okay,
No, I
hold
can't
on
see your
for.
screen yet.
Okay, 1 second. Can can y'all see now?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for that. Sorry about that. Thought you guys were seeing what I was seeing the whole time. All right. So now let's get into the power of life insurance. It is essential to prepare for the unexpected events. If you have experienced an unexpected event, I want you to put a fire emoji in a chat. Life insurance protects your loved ones, builds legacy, and provides a peace of mind. Life insurance adapts to your needs across different stages of your life. So, right here, I wanted to pass it on over to Bryan so he can get into his experiences. Bryan is such an extraordinary insurance broker that's been in this industry nearly a decade, and I am just so honored for him to share some more information with you. So, Bryan, go ahead and take it away.
All right, hey guys, definitely excited you all were able to make some time this evening to be here with us, to really talk about something that families and our communities really need to be thinking about around the holiday season outside of just giving gifts. So as the last Tiera did say, of course, my name is Bryan. I have been in the life insurance industry going around about 9 years, roughly coming up on a decade now. It's definitely something that I did not first become excited about when I first was introduced to the industry, but I later was able to develop a passion for what it is that I was able to do. Like I said, I would usually tell people when that light bulb goes off for my clients, that's why I become most excited because it doesn't matter if it makes sense to me. It matters if it makes sense to the potential client or individual that I'm sitting across from when we're conducting a consult. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit about me. We can definitely go ahead and dive straight into what it is as far as the educational aspect. Drop an emoji in here if you've ever had life insurance conversation, if you hear that as something that just floats around your family regularly when you guys meet, if that's, whether it's family functions, gatherings, get together, or just regular phone conversation, if that's something that's regularly been talked about in your family, drop emoji. And if it hasn't, definitely don't feel bad because generally that's not a conversation that is had by most. And as brokers, part of my crusade is definitely making sure that that is something that's changed. For individuals that I sit across from, they're able to have that conversation now with families, have those uncomfortable conversations. I would say now we're going into the misconceptions about life insurance. A lot of people they generally feel like it's too expensive. And I can definitely say that's one of the biggest, largest myths within the life insurance game, or people have about the life insurance industry. Life insurance can be very affordable depending on the type of insurance that you personally need and the type of policy that you want to actually achieve your goals. Life insurance can be used for burial, well, not only just burial, but methods to really help you get towards your retirement goals. If you have, a business, small business that you're looking to, scale and grow, life insurance can be that vehicle to, help you get there. Um, Also, a lot of people feel if they have like pre-existing health conditions, they feel as though that kind of eliminates them. And I would say that's honestly not the situation. Being a broker here in this industry, like myself, as well as Tiera, as well as Sam, who are also amazing brokers within our team and are doing large things within the Georgia community, we're able to sit down with different brokers. Excuse me, different carriers. We're able to sit down with a host of different carriers that we have at our tutelage to be able to see where is going to be able to assist a potential client who falls into that kinds of, being an individual with a pre-existing condition. So it doesn't completely eliminate you from, your chances of being able to get life insurance. It just slims that pathway down a little bit. Also, life insurance is not only for old people. We think that, hey, you're gonna live forever, so you just need to really think about it. And that's actually a very costly myth, a misconception, because generally when you get older, life insurance is more expensive. So it's very, 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 very good for individuals to really look at getting life insurance at a young age. And possibly even if they have a family member, a loved one that thinks of them in their childhood, to get it when they're a kid, because that's where it's most affordable. um, and another thing, you won't benefit from life insurance, so you don't need it. A lot of individuals do have that misconception that life insurance is just for your dead, for when you die. And like I mentioned earlier, life insurance can be that vehicle to help your business, help your retirement. That's where you get into the living benefits of your life insurance, whether it's, emergencies or anything like that. You're able to navigate life and emergencies with your life insurance. That makes you your own bank. Um, with us, we're able to offer a lot of different things here with our firm operating through Forward Financial. We offer whole life insurance, mortgage insurance, which is a type of insurance that we're able to help design you to be able to align with one of your biggest assets, and that's your mortgage. A lot of ways that we design our policies are for you to actually make money by the end of the term of your mortgage, um, coupled with your mortgage insurance. We have IULs. That's something that's definitely geared towards, like I said, somebody who wants to use that tax-free benefit that comes along with their life insurance or the vehicle to grow their and scale their business, or they're just looking to diversify their portfolio. Life insurance is an amazing thing to have to help you diversify that portfolio and to really help catapult you into your future. We also offer term insurance. That's another amazingly affordable product that we offer. It would be the most affordable because you're just paying for one product, and that's just insurance. We have final expense for the elderly individuals who just want to have something to cover, literally, as it says, final expenses. And then let's also think about annuities. Annuities is like the sibling to life insurance. That's literally getting you also prepared for retirement. So those are all of the products that we offer. All, if designed properly and tailored properly, can give you a huge, huge bang for your buck. And as brokers, one of my best sayings is, as long as you're driving, I'm navigating. We provide you with the map. We just want you to keep your foot on the pedal. You're not driving, we can't do it for you. We can just hold the app. So yeah. Right now we're gonna take it. I'm gonna pass it back over to Miss Tiera. She's just gonna share a little bit of how life insurance has impacted her family and how she was actually able to utilize that as a tool that helped her navigate through that crisis with her family. So go ahead and take it away, Tiera.
Absolutely, Brian. I thank you for sharing all of that information. So yes, here, everyone, this is me just showing you my journey. Being a life insurance broker is just not work. It's really part of a ministry for me. It's an opportunity for me to truly serve other people that looks like me, other people that are experiencing challenges like me, and you may not be a stroke survivor, but you are a survivor of something. And so when I think about the power of living benefits, I think about my life. I think about the fact that if there wasn't a living will that was actually in place when the doctors asked my husband about it, if there wasn't life insurance that was in place when the doctors asked about it, or even if we had stepped into the space of entrepreneurship 2 years prior to where we would have been. And this is why as a holistic wellness strategist, I always talk about financial wellness and not just life insurance because it's a very holistic perspective, but it also affects every part of your life. And having those things in place has allowed us to have a sense of ease. When you think about unforeseen things and you think about catastrophic life events such as a stroke, such as cancer, such as ALS, or something that's terminal, and like Brian mentioned earlier when he was talking about living benefits, where you're able to benefit from that if you have a critical or a chronic or a terminal illness while you're alive, that's why you want to have that in place. Through my nonprofit Strokes to Life initiative, I found that a lot of my survivors, they're thinking about their health, but they're more so thinking about their finances and how they're going to navigate life. So imagine knowing and having the knowledge of living benefits to implement before something like that happens. I think that is so vital. I think it's so important for the life that we're living in because life just happens. And I was just 30 years old. I was only in my second year of marriage and I had an 8-month-old baby. So when you think about how all of that compounds and you think about having those real conversations, it's vital. I know for my husband and I, married couples or newly married couples or even established married couples, that is one of our very dear to heart audiences because we look at it like you got to have those conversations because you just don't know what's going to happen. You have to have that, you have to really look at when they say sickness and health, that thing is real. That's not a game. And so I just wanted to show you what it looks like to just be in a place where even though my husband might have been like go out of his mind, he will still be able to be present in that moment and to just capture me walking down the hallway for the first time after suffering a bilateral cerebellum stroke. So what I wanted to do next is hand it over to my amazing husband, Samuel Richardson. He's definitely been a safe haven, a safe space, and such a protector in that season. As you can see in the video, who was recording me and walking with me along the way. It almost makes me want to get emotional. But I wanted to hand it over to him. He's an amazing broker alongside me, and he was the person that said, "Babe, you know what? I think this would be valuable for us to do in becoming brokers, not just from a financial standpoint, but also because it just aligns with our who we are as people and our desire to serve." So, Sam, I'm handing it over to you.
Thank you, TT. First and foremost, I just want to give it back to Tiera. She's doing an awesome job. I'm just so happy for her and just her growth on, ever since she had those two cerebellum strokes. She don't even look like she had a stroke if you look at her now. But I would just like to say God is amazing. And also want to give it back to my brother Bryan. Bryan, man, you're doing such a fantastic job. I'm not surprised by none of it. Is what I told you years ago, what I've already see in you. So I'm just very proud of Tiera and Bryan. Nevertheless, let's get into my story. I am a life insurance broker. I am a life coach as well. But I hit a wall. And you may say what that wall was. That wall was my wife had two cerebellum strokes. And when we got married, especially as new married couples, you're not looking for a tragic situation to happen in your life. This is why our message is to all couples and people that are definitely in relationships is to talk about the health, talk about situations that could happen. You want to protect yourself at all costs. And I'm telling you right now, by us thinking about those things, by having a living will, by having life insurance, as Bryan alluded to you earlier, is that oftentimes the misconceptions can be that you only have life insurance when you die and you can pay for funeral expenses and things of that nature. But I am living proof that I saw my father work in the steel mill for over 30 years, worked in the milk shop with all the nasty chemicals and things that he had to deal with, wearing air filters and things of that nature. And he developed cancer. But let me tell you something. You may be on this call right now on the Zoom, and you may be saying to yourself that I'm in great shape. Nothing's going to ever happen to me, or I'm very young. I'm not going to get no type of illness. But that's when you want to be protected. Why? Because the earlier you get it done and you're in good shape, the cheaper your life insurance bill is going to be every month. So you want to make sure that you handle that right now. So let me just tell you the backdrop story. A lot of people may think that, you know what, I have a job, so I don't need life insurance. I have the life insurance through my job. But let me tell you a caveat with that. My dad had life insurance with his job, but when he got sick and got cancer, guess what? His job fired him. So if he didn't have supplemental life insurance outside of his job, how could he get protection for himself and most importantly for his family? Let me tell you, by having supplemental life insurance did for us, it allowed my wife to be able to pay the bills when my when my dad was out of work. It allowed him to be able to take care of the necessary things for treatment for my dad when the job wasn't there anymore. So when you're talking about the power of having supplemental life insurance outside of a job, that is the key. That is the cheat code to wealth. I'm trying to tell you that is the cheat code. So don't just think that by having life insurance on your job is everything, because your job can fire you at any time. You can get sick. And when you don't show up to work, guess what? That job only cares about their bottom lines. Because guess what? They can fire you and they can get somebody else to do your job. Another thing that was so amazing by my dad having supplemental life insurance outside of that job, my mom was able to get a house. She was able to live in a nicer neighborhood. And for oftentimes, that was a power move by my dad. When you talk about my dad took care of his wife, even when he's gone to the afterlife, This is what you're talking about, the power of making responsible or being accountable for your family. It's not what you do when you're living, but it's what you're still doing even when you have passed away. So that's what the power of having supplemental life insurance. It provides peace, it provides stability during those tough times. So take it from me. When I saw my dad going through what he was going through, and it was tough for him, but he rest assured when he passed, before he passed away, he said, man, I'm glad that I got things in place to make sure that my family is okay. And this is what me and my wife we value, is preaching this message to everybody that's contemplated, okay, do I need to go ahead and get life insurance? I'm going to tell you right now, don't wait till next week, don't wait till next month, because let me tell you something, tomorrow is not promised to anyone. You could be here today and you could be gone tomorrow. So definitely this message is for anybody. If you feel the need that, you know what, and you're thinking about it, don't hesitate. Get life insurance now. I want to give it back to T.
Absolutely. Whew, that was intense, man. When I think about just our journey and how far God has brought us, just how faithful he is, how he has kept us, how he has kept our family, how just to be able to have be on here right now with my family and just I don't remember a lot after my stroke, but I do remember my brother showing up. I do remember my husband being there every step of the way. And when I think about I tend to share the story. I haven't been able to share it in a long time, but this is why financial wellness, financial freedom is also such a pivotal piece and pertinent piece of our life, is because my husband was able to be along by my side the entire time of my journey. He was the only spouse that was in my long-term rehabilitation center. So they gave him a cart for him to sleep on with our 8-month-old in the room with me. And so when I say preparation, when I say thinking about long term, when I think about yesterday, I shared that financial wellness is love. And it truly is. Financial wellness is love. Brian and I were just having a conversation because he's like super uncle to our son Samuel. And he's like, I don't have any kids, but all I think about is what I'm gonna do for my nephew. And we think about it because it's like you think about what you didn't have and you what you want to make sure that the people that you love the most have in place even when you're not there. And I think that's so important. But what I wanted to start and jump into is what stage of life you're in, because this is where life insurance comes in. For us, our team, and amongst all the brokers that we work alongside with, we're not here to try to extract or terminate any of the policies that you may currently have or knock those, but we're here to add value. We're here to look at what it is that you actually need in order for you to reach your goals. And for us to do that, we're going to start with a needs analysis. We're not starting with what we need to give you, we're starting with what you need. And so it's looking at the stages of life to revisit your life insurance policy, because you may have started with something when you were in your 20s and now you're here in your 30s and you need something else, or you're in your 40s and you need something else, or you in your 50s and you're wherever you are. So let's start with starting your career. If you're in your career, you may have insurance through your employer, but it's always important, just like both Sam and Brian mentioned, to have supplemental actual insurance. And that's here to protect your income and establish financial independence and begin building a legacy early, and because it's way more affordable. Number two, you're getting married or partnered. We just talked intensely about just being married and just protecting both you and your partner, and how that is just love within itself, and providing security for both you as well as your family. When you're starting and you're growing a family, if you're thinking about having a baby or you just had a baby, I mean, I just remember just when I put my first policy on a child, and just knowing how inexpensive it was, I was like, Yes, I was so happy for my clients. It just made me so excited, like because this is something that's stuck in the same price for a duration, and that child when they grow older, they can take over that policy. It's just it's magical, right? Um, Number four, building wealth in assets. I think this part is so underrated, and people are so oblivious to the fact of the power that life insurance has. I think it has to do with the lack of awareness. But when you come aware of something, when you become educated by something, it is it's so important to implement it. That's all I have to say about that. Planning for retirement. Man, let me tell you, I am now retired. I would say both my husband and I are now retired at this point. I was medically retired from the Air Force, and I had this long thought of what retirement was going to look like for me, right? But you get to shape what retirement looks like. We hear in the news what they're trying to do with Social Security. We are hearing in the news what they're trying to do with 401k. We're hearing in the news with all these things. So it just makes sense that you want to make sure that you have tools and different resources in place to make sure that you can truly shape your life the way that you would like for it to look like, and that you're not trying to. I remember my grandmother, she actually was a nurse for nearly well over 40 years. And she was ready to go back to work, not just because she wanted to, because she felt like I need more. And it's like telling your grandma, like, your knees ain't even good no more. Like you can't do what you used to do, but there's so many people, even in their 60s, dang near in their 70s, who still needs to work because retirement wasn't in place. But imagine you putting those different things, such as an IUL or annuity in place so that it could be there for you in the long run. And number six, facing major health challenges. You're looking at a bilateral cerebellar stroke survivor. You're looking at someone who takes about, well, I would say this morning I took six meds. I don't look like it, but I did. This energy that I'm giving right now, I may not have all of this energy for the rest of the day. So we let me tell you something. You don't know what somebody is going through based upon what they look like. But what you do know is you know what's going on with you. And what you do know is you can prepare for your today and for your tomorrow. So just know that there's somebody, and I'm sure if you've had somebody in your life that's just recently had a critical or chronic illness, I want you to put a heart emoji in the chat, and just thinking about them, and imagine if they had something like living benefits in place, how their situation could have been a little bit different. And last but not least is seven, legacy and estate planning, ensuring your financial peace for your heirs and leaving a lasting impact on the causes and people that you care about. So what I'm going to do is pass it on over to one of my favorite brokers so he can tell y'all why, if you are looking for a broker or brokers or just a family of people that truly understand the cause and are coming from a wellness perspective, coming from an empath perspective, coming from a human service perspective,
All
why
right.
it is to be with us. Mhm.
All right, guys. So as Tiera was mentioning a lot of things that I was already going to say, um, one of the important reasons why we do pride ourselves with being able to come and work over with us here at Forward Financial, any of our brokers, but specifically us with our team, as we do come from a very family-oriented perspective. So we pride ourselves in really looking for the potholes that most families don't take the time to think about that they're aware of, because we do are grounded in that family perspective. We do also do follow-ups very regularly with our clients. We are not one of those brokers that are looking to do just, we understand that just like businesses can alter and change within every 6 months, we know the same is very factual for families. Things can change very rapidly, whether it's your job, born, whether it's health, any of those things that happen, we do take very, 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 very strong those because we personally have also been impacted by similar situations to know how to navigate. That's some of the big reasons why we do pride ourselves in recommending us as far as individuals who call home and brokers. Um, what we want you to have become also aware of when you look at working with us, we take into consideration your goals, what it is that you're looking to accomplish through life. Anytime you're sitting down with the agent or a broker, if they're not asking you what your ultimate goals are with life insurance, you need to hightail it out of there. You need to turn the other way and just boot out for wherever you need to go. Just get there quickly and away from that individual. Because life insurance is just not for your death. It's ultimately what are you looking to accomplish with your life insurance? You have goals that go beyond your life expectancy. So those are things that we take into consideration. Also providing tailored policies that are specific for your needs and your family's needs. That's kind of what really sets us apart. But as you can see, this is our team. Myself, Tiera, as well as Sam. They have been coming in here, tearing it up. But I also want to let you know, for individuals who are looking to get life insurance very soon, which needs to be on your list if you don't have any, you want to make sure that you have all the necessary information when sitting down with the agent, just to help that experience go a lot more smoother for yourself. You're not rummaging around in documents. You want to make sure you have your full medical history, lists of any medications that you're taking, recent or within the last 3 to 5 years. You also want to make sure that you have your driving record history. That's any minor or major traffic violations. Have that history, date of those violations, and whether or not they're going to be removed. If you are having any major uh, health procedures coming up, appointment coming up, you might want to postpone those a little bit. Push those out probably a couple of days, just so you can sit down with that agent, because you don't want any of that to hit your medical record and be a reason why you may not get approved for the coverage that you want to get. Also, make sure you have the social security numbers and phone numbers of all individuals you want to have listed on your policy, and emergency contacts. Emergency contacts are very, very imperative because if we can't get in touch with um, the contingent or the primary beneficiary, those emergency contacts, they'll come in handy because they can reach out to us, not having, of course, personal information about the policy, but they can make sure that around 60 to 70% of policies go unissued just because they don't have the correct point of contact to get in contact with to make sure that it is processed. So you definitely want to make sure that you have the correct information. Now that we wouldn't have that on the slide, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I mentioned that for individuals who may be looking to get life insurance on themselves or on their family. But once again, this is our family team. We definitely thank you for taking the time to sit with us, learn about who we are and how we're looking to truly impact the community. But definitely schedule a time for a consultation, or if you're looking to just have your own current policy review, we are more than willing and capable to assist you with all of those. So once again, thank you, and you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a great Saturday.
Amazing, guys.